it's allowed, but I don't remember the reason.
Okay, if this is the baby and this is the hood, as it moves along, the hood is covering over the exact same area. Versus if this is the ground and this is the umbrella, every step you take, you're building a new tent or a new area. The hood and the stroller are one unit. Nothing new is being covered as it moves. As far as the area under the stroller and the wheels, this area is not there to be covered. Because if this would be a problem, you wouldn't be able to walk because you cover with your rear end. The area, that's not a problem. You're not doing it to cover over an area, to use it as a structure. Okay? The issue of the temporary tent, which is a rabbinic prohibition, is only for something which is meant to be a structure to use the area that's underneath it. Which is why you all see when it comes to this, that right over here on the side, you see the guy with the pink table?
Mm-hmm.
And underneath the pink table is the little greenish, kind of bluish, but greenish little book, which means it's okay. Why is this okay? When you put the table up, you're not putting it there so that the dog can sit under the table, or so that you can put your feet on the table. You don't build a table to put your feet under it. You build the table to use the area on top of it. And therefore, the area on top of it is the only thing that's an issue. And so long as the table is not actually building, it's just opening and closing something which is meant to be open and closed every time it's used, right? Then you don't have an issue with building. And you don't have a big provision of making a temporary tent because the area underneath it is not meant to be used. This does not mean keep your feet away from the table. No, put your feet under the table. It's just fine. You didn't erect the table to put your feet underneath it. Therefore, it's fine. You can use that area, and it's okay. Okay, what's the deal with Shira? Do you have a phone number for her?
She didn't answer. Let me see.
So she just moved to America. I have her phone number on my settings. I don't know how to get there and get back to you guys.
Hang on a second, Rabbi. I got her phone number here on my phone book. Sure.
Remember, she just moved back to America.
Yeah. I've got her new phone number.
Great.
I know her mom had just gotten home from the hospital.
And I know her mom's hand was in bad shape.
Yeah. Sure, this is Josh. Rabbis wanted to know if you're going to make it to class today. We tried calling in, pulling you in, but we didn't get a response. Anyway, if you get this message, either, I guess, shoot me a message on Skype and I'll try to get you in. If not, I guess, email Rabbi and let him know what's going on. Okay, bye.
Is there any possibility of you taping this? I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, I actually tape all of them so I can go back and make notes I missed during class.
Perfect, great. Get it sent to her, super. Okay, so here we go. Now I see where we are. That's exactly where we finished off. That was the last thing we did. And now, let's deal with other rabbinic fences in malacha of building. Okay, the main deal, right, is we did. You can't build, you can't repair, you can't put a door back on. Like, these things are all dioraisa, okay? But the rabbinic ones, it's important to know that when you're dealing with the malacha of building, boneh, and the malacha of the final hammer blow, which if you look down here, okay, if this is the big page, right, this is building, go diagonally across this one, which is the second to the last malacha of the whole book, okay? The final hammer blow and boneh are first cousins of each other. They overlap all the time. So in the next few rabbinic fences, which we're going to go over, they do actually overlap. And when we get to Patish, the final hammer blow, this overlap will be mentioned again. So let me explain why. What is the final hammer blow? It means the whole thing basically constructed, and I just need to put the battery in, and it works. I mean, if you had to construct this thing on your own, okay, you and 25 Chinese people couldn't do it in a lifetime if you just sit in their living room and try and do it. It's a major feat, yet it's useless. Unless you go, put the battery in. Putting the battery in, besides many other laws, one of them being building, because you finished the street, you built the circuit, you finished the connection. But it's also the thing that makes it work. The final thing that's needed to make it work. So, nearly everything, not everything, but nearly everything that is the final hammer blow is also building. But not everything that is the final thing in building. I mean, if the first brick in a building, that's certainly not the final hammer blow. I have another 120 stories to go, right? Okay, so let's Let me give you a quick question. Look at the structure of this book, the way the method is fantastic. Okay, you have building and the fence, and then the exact connection of this fence is going dot, 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 dot into the water. Here, this, where the guy is swimming, has to do with demolishing, has to do with building. But you may notice there's no separation between water and the water that's going with the final hammer blow. So here he's showing you the connection, the flow between building and the final hammer blow. Let's take a look at swimming. This is all rabbinic, remember, okay? Are you allowed to swim on Shabbos? If you answer in a Beis Din, no, they're not impressed. I mean, it's an answer, but it's not an answer. They want to know why. What law to your right? If it's Durabanan, why? Why is this prohibition? And when does this prohibition apply? When does this prohibition not apply? Okay. The reason they're going to want to know more details about this is your standard one is pretty easy. Are you allowed to pick up a match? No, because you might come to strike it. Okay, it's muksa, because I might come to strike it. And subject over. You don't have to be a brain scientist to answer this question, right? This one is hard, and if you answer this one correctly, with all the details, you understand things better. I'm not doing this just to pass the test. It's because if you understand this, you really get the mentality.
Right.
Okay. The answer is, of course, it's prohibited. It's also why you can't swim. Because the rabbi said maybe you're going to come to build a flotation device, which is why the brain scientist who made this book, the spine of which side of the page is the building. The red hammer and flotation device above the guy who's swimming. The building thing is on the building side with continuation of fence, dot, dot, dot. But what's the flow into the final hammer blow? When you build a flotation device, you're going to use it, right? You're not going to build it halfway. It will sink. Therefore, anytime you're building a flotation device, you're going to also come upon the final hammer blow. Whether you're doing it with a hammer, whether all you need to do is pull a branch off of a tree, and that's going to help it float. Okay, well, if it's useful the way it is. I not only rip something off of the basic rule, which is, what's it called? What's the name of that meal? A code set, right? I've harvested it. But I've also built something beforehand. It was a tree limb. It's a float. And did I have to do any special act? No, but if it's useful in this one thing, yank. It's now a float. It's also the final hammer blow. So, now let's deal with how far does this go? If I have, let's say, I'm an Olympic swimmer, and I never need a flotation device. But even though I don't need a flotation device, and let's say I never trip when I swim, but I trip when I walk. I'm a better swimmer than I am a walker, right? I'm just not going to ever use a flotation device. Not only that, I'm the world's biggest klutz. I don't know which end of the hammer to use in the first place, and I'm on a desert island. There are hammers, and there are no nails, and there's nothing to build in the first place. It's impossible. I couldn't build something if I wanted to, and I don't need to. So I can swim, right? Wrong. Low haluk. I don't care if that lady is Miss America, just because she's 95 years old and just won the Miss Ugly contest. You're not allowed to be alone with her. The rabbinic prohibition of not being alone. A low haluk, no distinction. I don't care where you fit in. Same thing with this concept of makam patish, and which is final hammer blow and building. But when we say it is prohibited to swim rabbinically, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter that you can't build it, wouldn't build it, don't know how to build it. Makes sense. You're not allowed to swim on Shabbos. Where is there a leniency? A rabbinic prohibition. Almost never, not never, almost never when it bangs into Diraisa obligation. Almost never was it instated. So let's say a woman needs to go to the mikvah on Shabbos. She goes, but she's from some pygmy tribe. She's really short, and she can swim. But don't care. She's allowed to go to the mikvah. But she might build a flotation device. She's not going to. It's not there, and we have no such prohibition for her because here she has a positive mitzvah that she has to do, a positive Torah commandment that she must do, and a negative rabbinic commandment. Yet there are times. Don't think this is a straight across the board rule. There are times where the rabbi said the likelihood of a problem here is very great. A woman going to the mikveh should have another woman watching her to make sure that her hair all went on. And so she's in a situation where she's involved in mitzvah, and she's going, and she specifically is bringing somebody to watch her. Is she going to build a devotion device? The rabbis are simply not worried about it. They said, forget it, not making a rabbinical prohibition. But Rosh Hashanah happens on Shabbos one time. And we say, there's no Eruv. Are you allowed to blow the shofar? Well, maybe somebody's going to bring their shofar in their pocket to shul. Not everyone's watching them. Not everyone knows what's going on. And therefore the rabbi said, prohibited. That's a positive Torah commandment of blowing shofar, right? So what? The rabbi said we're going to put rabbinical prohibition when, not across the board, not every Rosh Hashanah, when Rosh Hashanah comes on Shabbos, whether you have an Eruv or whether you don't have an Eruv. No shofar. How can a rabbinic commandment cancel a Torah commandment? It can't. If you curtail it. If it were to say, every Rosh Hashanah you can't have a shofar. The rabbinic commandment couldn't do that. It couldn't cancel out a Torah commandment. But when Rosh Hashanah bumps into Shabbos, which means every once in a while I have an issue with Rosh Hashanah and the shofar and Shabbos, then we're allowed to curtail the Torah commandment with a rabbinic commandment for fear that another Torah commandment may be, what's it called? Over English, maybe transgressed. Okay. Okay. So now.
Right.
Yeah.
In the event, say, I mean, it's obviously not going to happen very often, but say it's Shabbos, you're out walking, say, to shul or whatever, and there's a swimming pool. Somebody's drowning. It's okay to help them?
To save a life is always okay. All Torah prohibitions, except for 3, can be transgressed whenever there's a life-threatening thing. It doesn't matter. Shabbos, anything. Okay? You can't serve a vodah zarah. Okay? You can't kill somebody. And you cannot do some type of sexual crime. If somebody's going to kill somebody, like you have sex with their wife, sorry, you can't do it. Okay? Die. Right? Those are the 3 prohibitions, obscurity, killing, and vodah zarah. Outside of that category, no problem. Now, by the way, that does not mean the rabbinic prohibitions on vodah zarah might not be. Let's say, for example, your friend is being held captive in the church. You're not allowed to enter a church. You're allowed to church to get somebody out. No. Okay? You cannot go there either to worship or for some social thing. But when there's a mitzvah involved, such as pidyon shu'im, or for example, bring this down home. Let's punch this under the belt, okay? A deformed synagogue. Okay? Reformed, okay? So the deformed synagogue, there's no difference between that and the church. You're not allowed to go in. Because do they believe in the Torah? No. Do they believe that Hashem gave these commandments? No. I was concerned we're going to do. No, don't. Okay? So is this avodah zarah, strange worship? Yes, it's nothing to do with Judaism. They're Jews. Anything they're not Jews. The Jews. It's not Judaism. If a Jew owns a baseball field, is it a religious experience to go to the baseball thing? No. Okay, like, what's the connection? Just because Jews are there doesn't mean it's a Jewish event. It's an event with Jews. Okay? It's a building that Jews built. Fine. Okay? But it's not a shul. Okay? Not only that. There. I don't care if you buy a Torah. The Catholic Church bought up many Torah for their own reasons. It doesn't mean you're allowed to go to a church. Okay? So, a friend of mine goes into a deformed synagogue every week in Houston. Why? There are so few people in their town that know anything about Judaism, even on the low level that the deformed want to teach, that the only people they can get to teach are Orthodox Jews. And he's allowed to teach what he wants. He's teaching Orthodox Judaism in his classes. Now, there may be some very provocative, not proper questions asked, and he's not allowed to say you can't ask that, okay? But I'm going to actually tell you the results of this. 1 out of 3 people in this deformed congregation are now Orthodox Jews. They just keep leaving. Okay? So that's the answer he was given. The reason he's allowed to do this is because there's no difference between that and Jews who are in a fire in the middle of a church. You're allowed to go into a church to save people in a fire. These people are in the same situation. So he's allowed to go in. Okay? Right, fine. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's go down here. Remember, we are dealing with building, but we're going into the overflow. How this now deals with it. I'm not skipping this, okay, but we're dealing with the overflow of building and how it relates to the final hammer. We just dealt with the guy who's swimming. Let's deal with the instruments over here. Another rabbinic prohibition is you're not allowed to play an instrument on Shabbos. Not even banging out a tune on Shabbos. Okay? Don't think so badly about people doing it. There's a slight difference of opinion. The standard Ashkenazic, okay, Mishnah Berurah, standard thing is prohibited. Okay, I know Josh is becoming Sephardic. Don't ask the congregant. Ask a Rav what the Sephardim hold on this issue. Find out what Ben Ish Chai says about this issue. Okay, here's the problem. You ever seen somebody play guitar? I would say the guitar is most obvious of all of the instruments on this issue. Whenever you play a guitar, ding, 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 fix the little string on the top. Ding, ding. Ah, now it's got the right sound. That tuning it, turning the knob so that it gets to the right tune, is the Torah prohibition, the D'Oraisa prohibition of Makatish, the final hammer blow. It's also building, because up until now it's out of tune. I'm doing something to finish the building. It's building and Makatish. We're going to throw you off the roof twice here. Okay, if Shmuel is Yael's around also, or you're just explaining to us?
No, Rabbi, she's coming. She's in the garden with the kids.
Okay. Just keep the notes. Try to explain it to her. Okay. Is there anything?
Yes. I will ask you to please to send the class to me, please.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Thank you very
now,
much.
with this, when I tune the guitar, that's a D'Oraisa prohibition. So the rabbi said, even if you take tape and you wrap it around the thing, I couldn't possibly, tune this thing if I wanted. Let's say it's a drum, like a bongo drum. I'm assuming that these things don't get tuned. The rabbis made a lo palug, no distinction across the board. No musical instrument can be played on Shabbos. Period. Because the nature of playing a musical instrument is that you're going to come to do the last fix-it, fast building the final hammer blow, to make that thing sound well. Now, what does that have to do with? The Mishnah explains anything that is used, even done in the normal way, is something where it's considered like a musical instrument. The other opinion is it's not an instrument. It's your hands. It's not an instrument. It's the table. There's two opinions. Find out what the community holds. If you're in the standard Ashkenazi community, this is what they hold. Now, this being said, I have two side comments. I'm going to actually read this word for word because it spends a lot of time putting this thing in. Yeah.
I can knock on the door.
You knock on the door, not in a tune. You can't go like I normally do during the week. You go in a specific beat. No, it's just bang. Okay. It's not being used like an instrument. But yes, the door thing is also mentioned in halacha. All right. Now, what would definitely be a problem by everybody is if you have a door knocker, one of those little metal things that goes ding, 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 ding. That thing is meant for making a sound. Even if you're not doing it by a tune, you cannot use it. Okay? Therefore, if you have a door that's got one of those things, you use your fist. 1 second. Hold on just 1 second. David. Hello? 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 Oh, back on here. Okay. Anyway, oh my God, second here is going again. Go ahead. Hello? Hi, now here. Okay. So, what I did is I brought down the credit card. It's right next to the computer. I also brought down a bill. It seems that I know that you told me, and I remember them sending an email, okay, that they did not charge us. They actually charged us for Okay? And the other thing is I'm going to give you my rabbi's email. He said he'd prefer, simply because it's completely unfiltered and I'm dealing with things with a based in, to send it to him direct. In other words, it doesn't have to go to you. I'll give you my rabbi's email. In other words, he will be the chaver. The only question I had on this thing is, using the modem, I'm using the modem, my next door neighbor's using the modem. Okay, by the modem, or does it go by my computer? Fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks so much. I'll leave you. It's, the email is just like iViesel. Okay, it's iViesel thing. All right, it's out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Just a side note for you guys to know what that's all about. It's an important thing to know as you enter the Orthodox world. It's much more important for Shmuel than it is for Josh, because Shmuel's here in Israel. At the same time, it is an important subject for Josh also. Completely side issue, has nothing to do with Shabbos. The issue of internet. I don't know what you guys have with your particular modes. When I was doing Skype one-on-one, when I only had one student at the time, it worked fine, and I had a great filter. But when I was doing FaceTime, no problem. FaceTime only allows one-on-one. The moment I started adding more than one person, the filters that I got here in Israel, the classes kept falling. Okay, I literally, about every second this class would just be canceled, and it had to be started again. Because of this, I got rid of the filter. Now, what's the issue with the filter? The Orthodox community all around the world, even the non-Orthodox. I'm not talking about the open Orthodox, because that's not Orthodox. It's just open, it's not Orthodox. Okay. In fact, they're less religious than the conservative. They use the word Orthodox. I could call myself, see, can't you see I'm Japanese? But I'm not. And so, so there's nothing Orthodox about open Orthodox. They're less religious than the conservative. So all of the Orthodox communities around the world hold that unfiltered internet is a serious problem. Because you can go and see, I don't know the exact figures, maybe it's a slight exaggeration, I can't tell you. But I was told that just like there's more beer drunk in America than is milk used, including for cheese and everything else, okay? The internet is used, believe it or not, there are more hits on the internet to sexual sites than to everything else combined. And because of this, the things that are seen on the internet, even when you are not turning on a sexual site, are open to the garbage of the outside world. You're opening up a sewer to your own. I'm going to give you an example. My mom, may she live long, may rest in peace, we're moving to Delphi. And my mother loved the flowers in the north. She lived there her whole life. One thing she was all upset about is place of heat, mosquitoes, and warehouse. Okay, and so I went with a friend onto the internet. I didn't have time, so find the highest silk flowers of all flowers that grew in my mother's garden. And we went to 10 or 12 different sites, and I got it from here, this, and that, and we made a fan. And we sent this thing to Mom for a move into a new house gift. I looked fine. I'm looking up, Lily of the Valley, you get a little thing of a flower. I looked up dogwood. It's a very pretty flower, only grows in the north. Anybody who's in the south doesn't know what this thing is. So I looked up dogwood. Immediately, a naked lady, spread out, a little open, with underpants, with a flower of the dogwood, and some insignia of the dogwood company showed up. The kosher filters, what they do is, any site that shows too much skin, they allow a face, okay? So they know the face and know what eyes are. If it's not a face or hands that can recognize that, it goes off. So even if it's a guy, or it doesn't let you open it. That's some of the more strict filters. There are other filters that only filter certain things. I tried so many of these different ones, 3 or 4 of them. 3. None of them allowed me to have multiple sites. So I'm in a problem. Okay, now I don't use the internet at all. I don't know how to surf the web. Okay, I think the web is something that you get in your face when you walk next to a site. I don't know anything. Okay, I know Skype, FaceTime, and what do you call it? PayPal and what's it called? Email. That's it. Turn the phone off. So at the same time, I don't. And there's a prohibition, in fact, they just signed on it last night. If your children are in religious school in this country, on the agreements of the school, it says that there is no unfiltered internet in the house. If they find that you're breaching this, your child is thrown out of school. Now, I can't filter internet because of you guys, okay? It's impossible. The multiple Skype is not working well. So the base student said to me, there is one solution, which is a solution, and it's called WebClear. In America, I think they call it Cruise, whatever it is, okay? What this does, I'm getting signed up for tonight. What this does is, anytime I go on a site, let's say I hit playboy.com, okay? Rabbi, at his home, he gets an email. Zalman just went on to playboy.com, okay? In other words, wherever site I go, also say Zalman just went on to Skype. He doesn't have to open up everything, okay? He can ignore it. If he wishes to, he can push it, okay? Therefore, I'm never in seclusion with the internet. I always know that Big Brother is watching you, right? 1984, okay? A brave new world, okay? So this, if you know that your rabbi is getting the reports, you don't know when he's opening it. You don't know when he's not opening it. Therefore, you're not going on playboy.com. And he said that this is actually the best filter. Because with the other filters, if you know enough about computers, you can get through. With this, you can't get through anything. Okay? It is a problem, if somebody's aware, or a doctor, because of laws of invasion of privacy. If you're not a lawyer, or a doctor, or a judge, there is no problem legally with you having this, and I suggest it. For people to have this while we have a multiple-site class is fine. To have any of the other filters is problematic. They don't work. They basically cancel class. Okay? So for Shmuel, who is dealing with the Israeli one, just wait a day or two until I get this connected, and I'll tell you how to get on. It's very important because you can never yourself. A person says, in the Acts of the Fathers, it says, do not believe yourself until the day of your death. Because as much as I'm not going to look at all these weirdo things, very nice, and you turned on Dogwood and went to this thing, and you saw this, and you just kept looking, and it's simply not a good idea. Mm-hmm. Okay, and as your kids will go to school, Shmuel, prohibited completely, and Josh, even if you're going to have an iPhone, how you doing now? Okay, even if you have an iPhone and home bed, there are filters on that also, right? If that becomes a problem with class and how it works, the friend concept or partner system or whatever it is good. The partner obviously has to be somebody who is concerned about you following this. Right. And Joe Goy is not going to help you, okay? Because he'd say, yeah, look at what you look at. Give me the address also. Okay. Anyway, so here we are. Let's deal with the concept of playing an instrument or playing the table. I'm going to read you something which I wrote up a second. Where is it? Okay. Okay. I'm going to read this to you straight out. Okay, it's like I should be reading a piece of paper simply because I put a lot of time into this thing, and this particular thing is very important. Okay. I was at the home of my religious cousins for Shabbos. As they started to sing, I noticed that they were hanging out on the table. Very well, I may add. Okay, the head of the household was there already, a respected rabbi. I asked him why he was banging on the Chavatayim, and the Mishnah Berurah said, we shouldn't. His response was, he stopped. A few minutes later, the same thing happened. And I got the same response, and he stopped again. The third time that this happened, I just shut up and it was burning inside. Here I was, the new Baal Tshuva, and this rabbi couldn't control himself. I'm sorry. And my feelings of dismay and my cousin's behavior to my rabbi. His response is a lesson for all of us. And he said, and I'm quoting him word for word, quote, a newly religious person has come to the conclusion that they need to change their lifestyle. They're in the process of making an overhaul to the way of thinking and living that they had before. They realize that much of what they have learned until this point needs to be thought out again. This is simply not the case for those who are born into a religious society. Then their parents and their parents, etc., are and were religious. They are not used to changing themselves. They are not in the same mode that you are. Don't get me wrong, he said. Of course, it would be better, much better, if these people would take constructive criticism and change themselves. All Jews have the follow the halacha. If they're wrong, then they need to change. But it isn't that your cousin isn't religious. He probably is a servant of Hashem, and like many others, is simply not used to change. But there's more. Not all groups of religious Jews have accepted the ruling the Chafetz Chaim brought down. Of course, no one is allowed to fix a musical instrument. That's the eraser. And of course, no one is allowed to use a musical instrument for fear that they may come to adjust it. This would be a Durabanan. To even use it without fixing it. The question is, what about your hands and the table? Are they under the same category as musical instruments? Generally, most poskim say, yes, they are. And this is definitely the vast majority opinion. But there are other opinions. And therefore, there is a small amount of breathing room here. It doesn't mean you can pick and choose and say, today I'm going to be Hasidic, and tomorrow I'm going to be, Yemenite. We can't be Ashkafard, okay? Mm-hmm. Choose a tradition. Therefore, although you should not do it, even when with those who are holding a more lenient view, still you should not look down upon them either. End the quote to the rabbi. There's another more important side of this. It's important for you to know that you'll find yourself in many situations where those around you, even see observant and knowledgeable people, do not always do what's right. You should not learn Torah observance by judging how long the beard of the doer is. Nor should you be embarrassed to follow correctly when you are confronted with ignorance from the seeming Talmud Chacham. Yet you should always also be careful to not be over what we call yuhara, Y-U-H-A-R-A, yuhara. This means that you should not have a holier-than-thou attitude, which sometimes is one of the more serious problems of convert or Baal Tshuva. This type of mentality becomes self-destructive. Nothing good will come of it. Don't be hypocritical of any religious group of Jews. Sorry, not hypocritical. Even though you may be doing this specific mitzvah or group of mitzvahs better than those who have been observant for years, it doesn't mean you to judge others and look down upon them. We must judge our fellow Jews favorably, while simultaneously not allowing ourselves to be influenced by their mistakes. This is an extremely important point. Many get so religious that they look down upon all others. It's not healthy. You're heading for spiritual disaster. Okay? Others go with the flow and become less. This is also spiritual disaster. You need to know what is a myth and what is not, and simultaneously you need to understand the faults and limitations of other people, while still holding the high standards of yourself and simultaneously loving your fellow Jew. Okay, back to the subject. All right. Okay. Braiding hair. Look over here. Okay, you see the fence right underneath Karen? Mm-hmm. Right over here, you see the girl braiding the hair. Right underneath it, on purple fence, it says that Durabanan, you see the little symbol, right? Durabanan, braiding hair, a form of construction. You may say, shouldn't this go on the spinning, which was on page 30, or maybe we should put it under page 32, knots? What does it have to do with construction? It's because you don't know Hebrew. What does the word, forget about modern Hebrew, toss it in the garbage. Okay, let's deal with the holy tongue. What does the word bo-neh mean? Building. It means taking bang, 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 bang. No. Bo-neh means taking haphazard things and putting them in a constructive order that is useful. That's it. A pile of stones, and at the end, a wall. Because they're placed together in such a way that's not haphazard and now becomes functional. That's what boneh, or building, means. Now, beforehand, we'll get to why it's rabbinic in a minute. Let's just look there the way it is. It'll seem like it's the eraser, and then I'll show you why, because of the technicality, it's Durban. It says in the Mishnah, Midrash, in Bereshis, we're talking about the first parsha, and Chava, Eve, is brought to Adam. By the way, 2 days ago I was just at Adam Chava's grave. Okay, but anyway, so you're sitting there and reading the Midrash, and it says that when Hashem brought Chava to he kind of made it look nice. One of the things that he did was bana ota, built her, braiding her hair. Why? What is the hair when it's braided? Disheveled things going all directions, and it's put the haphazard things into a functional or useful, clean, neat order. So now you say, fine, so it should be derisive. Why is it say here derabbanan? The hair, as disheveled as it might be, is all attached, organized at one end. It's not like the stones sitting there in a pile. This thing is already organized. It's just that it needs a little help. So therefore, it's not really a whole malacha. It's a half a malacha. Go back to page 12, I think. Yeah, 12, at the bottom. Two guys pulling up the carrot. Neither one of them pulled out the carrot. Okay? And therefore, it's derabbanan. When you're dealing with arranging the hair, it was already half arranged by coming out of the same area from the skull. And therefore, you can't say this is derisa, but still, rabbinically, is prohibited. Now, you can have the braids done before Shabbos, but yet, depending on hair, if you don't take care of the braid, at the end of Shabbos, your hair looks like a wild hyena, okay? It's coming out, it's held together, but it's all fuzzed up, disgusting, okay? And so, are you allowed to fix it up? Are you allowed to take out the rubber band and open it up? Well, if that's a rabbinic prohibition of building, it's also a rabbinic prohibition, therefore, of demolishing it. What you could do with hair that is braided is you could take the rubber band out and you can go, and it kind of comes out on its own by its swinging. That's it. But going like this to get it undone, no. Okay. So now, 1 second. 1 second. Yes. Yes.
You need that you're gonna get up the galot.
Okay. I will be back in about 3 minutes. Hold on. We'll go over whatever you can with the L. I just got a basket in the house. It's too heavy for the kids. Keep the thing on.
Okay.
Just a lot.
I'm gonna get a refill of water real quick.
Alright. I'm back. Knock, knock. Who's there?
I was just getting some extra water.
Okay. So, that's what's turning on and off the electricity. People may think, what's the problem with electricity? I've let the fire float. And then you've got the deformers and the Orthodox who say, well, it's not really fire, so I have 5 laws here. Maybe 2 of them aren't. So you're only going to be thrown off the roof 3 times instead of 5, if you're, lucky. Okay? So either way, you're dead 3 times by turning on and off lit. Okay? So what amazes me is that in their immense stupidity, these groups who don't know anything about halacha come up with what they think is an educated thing. They deal with half an issue and they therefore say it's all fine. Hello? Did you look into the issue? Did you see that there's 3 other problems? Could you even touch upon or solve those? Which they didn't. What are the problems? Let's take a look at any electric circuit. I don't care if it's this, okay, or an iPhone, or a light switch. What you have is you have 2 rods, and then you have a bridge. When the button is not pushed, there's no connection for electricity. When the button is pushed, bzzz, electricity goes from here across and down here. What did I do? I built, bana, diraisa, the bridge. In fact, in English, they use the same word, building the circuit and demolishing the circuit. When you push this thing, look what happens. I push this. One little push. I build the circuit, I let go, I demolish the circuit. Diraisa. Not only that, I mean, if this thing sits in my pocket, is it useful until I push the thing? No. Final hammer blow. There's 3. So the guy's dead 3 times already. Even without electricity being fired. Now, the standard design is that electricity is fire. Therefore, I am kindling a fire and extinguishing a fire. So as also, by pushing one button and letting go, I have done all 5 halachas on this stage. Building, demolishing, passing fire and extinguishing it, and the final blow. As also, one push of one button, 5 halachas, okay? And by no means is the fact that somebody's going to come and tell you that it's not fire, it doesn't solve the problem. There's still 3 they're not dealing with. There's no way around this. So there will be something that you may all see, which is so nauseating. There's a concept that the Open Orthodox came up with last year. Where they said this concept of half Shabbos. You follow Shabbos except for, you're allowed to text. Because it's really difficult. Really. So you're telling them every single time that they push one button, they have 5 death sentences. Why their other opinion? 3. Okay, so they just text, hello, 5. Let's go 5. 15 death sentences. Is that enough? I mean, how many times do you want dead? I don't understand it. Like, what are they talking about? Half Shabbos. What's half Shabbos? That means you all read a Dolan. Okay? What half Shabbos means is I'm the boss, not Hashem. I decide what I follow, not Hashem. If you say that as there, even one mitzvah, even one, here you, but at least 3, maybe 5. So if you say it on one mitzvah, you're not Jewish. Not retroactively. In other words, if at the time going through this, you really mean to accept all mitzvahs upon yourself. Great. If you say half Shabbos, well, then the conversion didn't work. Okay, so, alright. You can be very aware of a falsely advertised Shabbos switch. Actually, if you could find that, Yeshua, and send it to everybody in the class, including me. I don't know how to go through the web. There's a thing called the Shabbos switch, not the Shabbos lamp. The Shabbos lamp is totally kosher. Okay? The Shabbos switch.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's a thing that goes over the switch. It's battery operated, so you can set timers for it.
No, what I've been told, I don't know how it looks, what I've been told, there's a thing called grama and grama de grama. Causative and causative of causative. So, if something is a direct halacha, like I did, then it's prohibited diraisa. If it's causative, I did this and therefore caused something else to happen, it's derba. In certain very, very specific situations, when something is twice removed, it might not be prohibited at all. So there's the hanek and the tree. Shabbos switch. Yes. Take a look at this. Send it to me. I'll see if this is the one we're talking about.
Okay.
They had advertised. This thing came out about 3-4 years ago. They advertised this thing, saying, with the recommendation of all the rabbis, within 1 week, there were articles, every Orthodox paper magazine, from rabbis from the Hasidic, the Yemenite, the Sephardic, you name it, every single group, head rabbi of every group, denouncing them and saying, with the prohibition of all the rabbis, and list of them all. The thing is absolutely not allowed, if this is a thing that I'm saying.
Do you want
the thing that is allowed? What?
Did you want the website or just a picture of it itself?
If you could just, I don't know how to do it on the web. Just send me, can you like send it an email? I don't know how that goes.
Yeah,
I don't know how to search anything on the web.
What I can do is I can send you a link, and all you got to do is click on it. It's a Judaica store. So I can send you the picture and I can send you a link you just click on. How do you want me to do that?
Just click it. That sounds fine.
Okay.
The thing is this. A Shabbos light that is gotten by the Kosher Innovations Company, that's 100% okay.
Okay.
Why? What's going on there? The kosher light, nothing's going on and nothing's going off. I actually came up with this idea when I was in college and didn't think of it as an invention. And had I thought of it, I'd have millions of dollars. It'd be wonderful. But no, I didn't think to do that. Okay, so what it is like this. They have a light in a cylinder. The cylinder has 2 windows. Then they take another cylinder and they put it on top, which has also 2 windows. And then they, when you want it on, you make the windows meet the windows. When you want it off, you turn it so that the external cylinder is blocking the light from coming out. The light is still on. You didn't do anything to the electricity. You built nothing. You basically did this. That's all you did. Okay? No problem. Absolutely, completely fine. By the way, if you get that thing called the Shabbos lamp by Kosher Innovations, listen to the instructions. A few fires have been started. They tell you what watts you're allowed to put in there. Don't exceed it. Because it's a metal cylinder, it's closed, it can get hot. Whatever amount of watts they say, do not exceed what they say, or you will create a fire.
Okay.
If you do what they say, it's safe. Okay? Alright, fine. Alright, so we are now moving out of building, and we're going down to the bottom of the page, the opposite malacha, which is destruction. We talked a little bit. Now we're going to really go full blast on destruction. We're going to destroy this. Okay. Once Hashem told us to move the encampment in the wilderness, then we need to deconstruct or demolish the Mishkan in order to rebuild it somewhere else. Destruction or demolishing, which is soter, for the purpose of either building or fixing later, is the dioraisa malacha, which is the opposite malacha of the malacha of building. For a better understanding of full list of the opposite malachas, that will put back a minute. Okay, remember there is tying nuts and untying them in order to retie. Sewing, ripping in order to re-sew it. Writing, where is it? Sorry, wrong page. Writing, erasing in order to make the surface ready for writing again. Building, demolishing in order to rebuild in the same location or to rebuild it somewhere else. Kindling fire and putting the fire out. Those are the 5 malachas that have opposite malachas for a total of 39 malachas. We're talking 1 out of 4 malachas is in this category of opposite. Okay. So anytime that you break down a wall in order to fix a pipe, or take out a broken or rotten piece of either a structure, apparatus, or tool in order to replace it, then you are transgressing the prohibition of soter, of demolishing. A simple household item would be, let's say, unscrewing an old, now useless broom head, okay, so that you can later be able to put the new broom head on. Let's say, it's Shabbos, you just bought a new broom head because the old one looks pretty bad, and your kid spilled the honey, and now it tries to sweep it up, and you look at the broom head and you say, finito bendito, it's time to put the broom head in the garbage. Okay, and so now you take the head off and you put the new one on. 2 malachas. Taking it off was soter. Demolishing. Putting the new one on was boner. And makana patish. The final hammer blow by putting the next one on. So removing and putting on a nice new broom head gave you 3 malachas. But if you were not destroying for the purpose of building, but rather just being destructive for the heck of it, then the action is only prohibited to Rabban. Therefore, I have no idea what goes on in Brazil. Okay, American, especially people between the age of 15 and 25, tend to have a certain destructive nature to them. Okay, when you finish a can of Coca-Cola, there's no such thing as just taking and throwing it in the garbage bin. If you're American, you gotta
Crunch
crush
it.
it. Why? And like, you're angry at the world. Why? Because you're American. Okay, and and you know, you just can't throw it in the garbage pail. It's cultural. You just can't throw it in the garbage pail, right? You got to crush it and then throw it in the garbage pail. It's a prohibition. Duraban. Are you crushing it in order to reuse it? No. So it's also Duraban. Okay. All right. So same thing. Let's say you're sitting there shredding the paper. Why? It was a functional thing before. It becomes shreds now. Awesome. Duraban. Did you get any benefit out of this? No, I just got rid of my, internal anger. Asr Duraban. Still prohibited. Okay?
Rabbi.
Throwing glass bottles on the floor to smash them. Okay? It's also the same thing. What about taking apart toys that are not put together and taken apart regularly? This could be a problem. There is a distinction, I think the easiest one to see is the Lego company has two toys that are extremely common. One of them is a problem on Shabbos, and one of them is not so much a problem on Shabbos. Let's deal with the problem. Lego brand Lego. Lego is the smaller pieces, so when you push them together, it snap, and you hear it go click, and it holds on tightly. You can build a house out of it, you can build a car out of it, and then Junior can take his house, a car, go wing, 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 and nothing falls apart. He can use this car for the next year, until you decide that he's too old, and you're taking it apart to put it back in the box to give to his cousin as a birthday gift. Okay? Taking it apart would be a prohibition. Or let's say the kid's bored. I don't want it to be a car anymore. It's going to be a house. Yeah, but you used it for the past month as a car. You can't take it apart. But the other toy from Lego brand is Lego brand Duplo. Duplo is these large pieces. And when you build this structure out of Duplo, the minute it drops even 1 inch, the whole thing goes shatter into all the pieces. The kid holds one end, the other end falls off. Okay? This is not meant for permanent thing. Let's go back to page 12. Okay, middle of the page, the guy drawing on the sand. Okay? Only Durabanan. It's very different than drawing on the paper. Drawing on the paper is Lego brand Lego. It's not coming apart so easy. Drawing on the sand, it's going to fall apart. Doesn't matter what you do, it's coming apart. Okay? It's taken apart, put together all the time. Not an issue. Right? It's Durabanan. But isn't that a prohibition? Okay. He's not actually building a structure. It's a toy that's meant to be put together and taken apart. And something which is meant to be put together and taken apart and is done commonly, daily, and easily falls apart, with all of those specifications, the rabbis don't have it as a prohibition. So if it easily comes apart, is used by being put together and taken apart, and this happens on a daily basis, not a problem. So Duplo from Lego brand is okay. Lego is not. Yet a parent should not be the one to be building and taking apart the Duplo, because you as a parent are not sitting there building and using it. You don't use it that way. You're not the one using it. And therefore, you are trying to deconstruct it to put it away. Are you really treating it like a toy are you using it when you're doing it? Not really. The one who's using it is the child. And therefore, to say that the parent is over a prohibition, the answer is no. But there's a preferability of the parent not dealing with it. Okay, you don't have to treat it like muksa and stay away from it. Just don't take it apart and put it together. Just leave it. Okay, and let your child do it if it's the big pieces thing. Now, on the side, there's a thing called bristle bricks. Okay, they have many little things sticking out of them, in whichever position you put them, they stick together. First of all, Shmuel, if you buy bristle bricks, or they're called sabras, Okay, go into they're common, you see them in almost everyone's house. When you buy it, go in, each package has about 2 small ones like this that are round and have little spikes coming out from all ends. Throw them in a garbage pail. Okay, they're, I think, outlawed in America. Over here, the Red Magen David has said, put out warnings all the time. More children have choked to death from that toy than any other household item.
Really?
Okay, the 2 round pieces fit into a child's throat and stop breathing, and they cannot be removed by emergency. People, because it's got the little things that stick in. So if you buy it, remove the 2 round things and give the child the rest of the toy. Okay. All right.
Rabbi?
Yeah.
What about using a cane on Shabbos?
Do you have an Eruv?
Yes.
No problem.
Okay.
And a cane that expands and closes up, if this is the way it is normally used, and you don't do this once a week, you generally put it together, and when you sit down and show you, fold it up and stick it in your pocket, it's fine.
Okay.
If you are going to end up having a situation where you normally keep it open 24 hours, that would be an issue of building under construction. If it's in its normal use, you can part and put it together, fine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's deal for a moment with this. Happens all the time, more in Israel than in America. The Israelis have a lot to learn about door handles. So Americans have decent door handles. Door handles fall off in this country many times. People get stuck in rooms. It's stupid. They still use cotter pins. It's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's stupid. So now let's say somebody's stuck in the bedroom or some other room. There's no bathroom. There's no water. Happened to us. We had a guest who was stuck in a room. There is no exit. There are bars in the window. So I went to the Rav and I said, can we break the door down? And the Rav said, no. I said, but how are they going to get water? He said, did they ever get through Yom Kippur? They ate last night. This is Shabbos morning. Yeah? It's like a last day. I said, but she's pregnant and she's got to go to the bathroom. I said, there's a floor, isn't there? He said, it's disgusting. I said, who says that you're allowed to break Shabbos because it's disgusting? So then we had the same thing happen with a child who was freaking out. Here, I saw it right in the book. Okay, no problem. We busted the door through. Okay, what's the issue with the child? Somebody who's claustrophobic, and don't give me this, everybody in America pulls whatever shtick they want. You know, oh, I'm claustrophobic. You know, everybody in the monkey's uncle is, you know, is allergic to peanuts and this and that. You know, you name it. Everybody has become disabled from everything and uses everything as an excuse. It doesn't mean there aren't disabled people, but today people come up with the, like, you know, I can't be in a small room, I can't. Okay, right, fine, go to a psychiatrist, get out of here. All right, so now, you have a 2-year-old who's locked in, and he doesn't know where mommy is, and he's freaking out, hyperventilating. The likelihood of him literally hyperventilating and knocking his head and going unconscious, and kid stuck there for 8 hours, the likelihood of things becoming a bad scene are high, very high. Okay, therefore this is called danger, and the Talmud speaks about this exact situation and breaks the door. No problem. Okay, the lady's gonna have to pill over the floor and sit with her poop over the room because thinks she's not gonna eat. You know, discomfort is no problem. Now, as far as what about picking up the door and sticking it back in? I don't even know if Josh knows what we're talking about. He has a normal door handle. Us Israelis know exactly what they're talking about. It happens all the time. Our door handle comes like a little bar. You stick it into a square thing. It goes in. You turn it. It'll work, right? Are you allowed to do that? Well, I don't know about you guys. I have about 3 of these in the house that come in and come out, like, all the time. Breaking, it's no matter how many weeks. As a repairman, they always coming in and out. So, are you allowed to do it? Yeah. Why? Is this a repair job? No. This is how the door's used. You shut the door, bang, on the floor goes the handle. You put it back in, you just use it again. That's it. Okay, so, all right. Basic issue is, remember the Shabbos. We once, okay, yeah, you have to know that unpleasantness is not an issue of Shabbos. Danger is, that's it. All right, let's take a look at the boat. I'm going to have you guys answer for me. Why is this D'Oraisa and this D'Rabbanan? Shmuel. Why is it D'Oraisa? Look carefully at this piece and the piece that he's pulling up. And you tell me. Don't look at what it says in the writing, because that'll tell you. Okay. Why is the guy dealing with a boat?
Because he's fixing, he's changing.
Exactly. Exactly. He's taking out something bad in order to fix it. That's right, sir. What about, okay, Josh, the orange and white kid? Why is breaking the box only D'Rabbanan?
Because he's destroying it for no reason. And he's going to be...
He might be using the wood for firewood for tomorrow or whatever, but is he planning on rebuilding the box?
No. It's a destructive act for no sense of rebuilding or repair.
Right. Exactly. Fine. Okay. Pretty much that's it for that malacha. Alright, I'm going to explain a slightly difficult concept. When I tell you that the guy who wrote this book is a brain scientist, we're not joking around here. The exactness of these childish pictures is unbelievable. Let me just turn this on to the window, okay, and you'll watch for a minute. Okay? Okay. As we've already seen, right, building flows through to the dotted line. This is building which flows into the issue of final hammer blow, and where they meet, this is an issue of building, but depending on how it's done, could also be the final hammer blow. All of the malachas so far, the malacha and the opposite, were one on top of another. Could have arranged this picture like this. We did it like this. Because even though kindling a fire and extinguishing a fire opposite malachas, there was zero relationship between them. The reason for kindling a fire in the ground was in order to, for many things it was used. It was used for boiling the water for the dyes. It was used for many, many things. The reason for putting out the fire was not to make a new fire. The fire was put out to create blacks, to make the bake. Okay? And therefore, these actions have nothing to do with each other. Divorced. Completely divorced. They changed their last names. They have nothing to do with each other. Even though they are a malacha and its opposite, they're juxtaposed side to side instead of showing one as a result of the other. So now let's deal with lighting fire. Okay, back to normal picture. Okay. Ma'avir, kindling a fire, and mechabe, extinguishing a fire. Fire was used in Mishkan for a number of purposes. The Torah specifically, all the malachas that it speaks about in Shabbos, this is the malacha that is mentioned directly. It says, you shall not burn any fire in your dwellings. Period. On the Shabbos day. Pretty clear, isn't it? Okay, and this is the one that the open Orthodox overhead empty their brains and say it's just fine to sit there and push the buttons on the what do you call it, half Shabbos thing. It was used for baking. Also in the dyeing process, the gold needed to be melted, as did silver and copper. Ink was made from a certain type of soot that was created by starting a certain type of fire with a certain type of wood and letting it burn a certain amount and then putting it out with certain materials in an exact moment, which created black soot. Okay. These malachas are probably the most invasive malachas upon our daily lives. Turning on the is prohibited. Starting or driving in the car, or even just being a passenger in the car, or I don't know what happened with the people in Europe. For some reason, I don't know what goes on in Brazil, the Europeans have heard that it's okay to have a monthly pass around your neck, walk out in your non-Eruv area, and walk onto the train, which then takes you to the other end of town, so you don't need to spend twice as much for your rent, and you don't have to live in a Jewish area, you can get to shul. Let's see if we can say this nicely. No such thing. There is not a, even if there was an Eruv, like there is in Austria, okay, and the train is totally within the Eruv, I couldn't care less. You cannot get on that tram. It's Udu the Hall, it's Chil Hashem. I remember having one student who said, yeah, but the rabbi of the community told me. I then put the student on the phone with one of the judges of the Beis Din, Rabbi Wiesel, Shmuel's man. I have very rarely heard Rabbi Wiesel raise his voice. When he heard what this rabbi was saying, now, this guy had my cell phone, it was up to his ear. I was standing about a yard away. I could hear the Rav's excitement over the, the issue. Okay, let's just say there's no room for disagreement over here. You cannot get on a tram just because you've got the monthly pass, even if there's no Eruv, even if you're not pushing any buttons, even if you're not paying anything, there's nothing to talk about. Skip it. Okay? For some reasons, Americans understand this, and the Europeans have got a brain block. Okay? Okay. Yes, you do have to pay twice the rent to be able to live in the Jewish area. You don't want it? Don't become Jewish. I mean, that's it. Okay? Or leave Europe. Whatever. So, all right. All right. Okay, who can get into a vehicle on Shabbos? Only people traveling for serious medical reasons are allowed to be driven to the hospital by a goy. Of course, if you're dying or you're somebody in your family's having a problem or a neighbor, you're saving a life. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You're not doing a voda zara. You're not, sleeping with your neighbor's wife, and you're not killing somebody. So, yes, you're allowed to, right? But on a standard thing, I'm a nurse in a hospital. Right, you're allowed to pre-arrange before Shabbos and pay either before or after Shabbos the driver who will open the door for you. Just because he's allowed to drive doesn't mean you're allowed to open the door and shut the door, which is 5 malachos. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it has to be pre-arranged before Shabbos, and the goy is allowed to do it, even though there are malachas d'oraisa being done, because if all the nurses were told you can only go to work on Shabbos and take care of the sick people, if you live at the hospital, forget your families, forget your Shabbos, forget the whole thing, the profession would have no nurses. And therefore, since the system needs to work, we have this in the Gemara itself. It speaks about a midwife who lives in the next town. You can get on the horse and get her and bring her back so that she'll be there, so that the woman doesn't freak out during her birth, because she's gonna, her midwife's not there. She's not gonna be comfortable, and she could end up having a nervous breakdown. And then the midwife is allowed to be driven back by a goy. Getting her, that you can do it, saving a life. Getting her driven back, a goy should do it. Why? Because in that situation, there's no saving a life going on. But this midwife, if she knows that anytime she gets called that she's not having a Shabbos with her family, she's quitting. And she's finding another job. And then there's no midwives. So therefore, since it's only a rabbinic prohibition for the goy to do it, the rabbis did not make the prohibition in a situation of health care individuals. Alright? This does not mean that if you go to the hospital on Shabbos, that you are allowed to be driven back home. In Israel, rules all over the country. If you were there on Shabbos, even if you were not admitted, they must put you up, either in a room, in the basement, a cot, somewhere. But I know, like they say, they check. Yeah, I'm having an appendix attack or whatever. Go home, sir. It's Shabbos. By law, they must give you a place to stay. What happens if you go to a municipal hospital in the middle of Chicago and You are stuck it. Okay, and what are you going to do? Let's say there's no Eruv. Jewish communities outside there, whatever it is. I mean, I have no idea, right? You're stuck. What do you do? It's a very good question. Ask a rabbi in America what is done. Especially, I know you've got certain health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Find out and get me an answer.
Okay.
What happens if you go to a hospital and you are released on Shabbos? What are you allowed to do? I have a feeling that if there's no way for you to get home, there's no way for you to walk to a Jewish community, and you're therefore going to be in danger, you have no shelter, you have no place to go, if they're not going to allow you to sit in a lobby, well, what am I going to eat? They'll let you use the bathroom. Even if you can't eat. You ever fasted?
Yeah.
Okay, if they're going to, security-wise, not let you stay there, I have a feeling that you're then considered to be a homeless person. It's considered dangerous. There may be a leniency to allow you to be brought home by a non-Goyish cab, but they would have to open the door for you. Again, this is a problem. You can't tell a Goy what to do. He has to know what to do before. How does this work? I have no idea. Okay, so therefore, find out, get me an answer. In this country, the issue doesn't come up. They let you stay. Okay?
All right.
Not only that, by the way, Shmuel, if you're stuck in the hospital anywhere in this country, Ezra Mitzion, okay, will deliver you the DOTS meals for free, okay, even though you're not admitted. Not only the patient, also the person who was accompanying. So the hospital won't give it to you, but Ezra Mitzion is going around on Shabbos handing out meals. They're not great, but there's something. Okay, so, okay. Okay.
Speaking about like issues in the hospital, Rabbi, I know that on your other, and I would like to actually find out if you were able to get that phone number from you. On your conversion video they did in Nativ, I don't know if you remember. There was a place that it's like a group of rabbis that where you can call if there's like a halakhic issue you can't get, that you can't get a hold of your own rabbi. There was like a number that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I could find out. Look this up on the internet so you can find it. KAV space halacha, HALACHA. Maybe you have an H at the end.
Okay.
Kav halacha.
All right.
Does it show up?
Let me see.
KAV space halacha. It's 24 hours around the world. Not on Shabbos.
The English update. Okay, the Kav Halacha launched in Yerushalayim. That one?
Yeah, there should be. It should say about around the world.
That's the English update, so I'm assuming that would be one of the.
You could call them, and for some reason they say, we're not 24 hours, which they are. Okay. You can ask them, since it's a similar type of organization to the one that's 24 hours. They probably would have the number.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Rabbi Gizel, by the way, is on Kabbalah. He's one of the rabbis in the Basin. He has one of the slots. Okay. Okay. Using elevators, escalators on Shabbos, even the goy pushes the
Rabbi.
Yeah.
In the case of Pikuah Nefesh, Pikuah Nefesh is a mitzvah, Ken?
Yes.
If I have a goy available, I must go, or I must ask to the goy to go in the hospital.
If it's actually Pikuah Nefesh, it's actually preferable for the Jew to be the one to break Shabbos and do it. Okay? Because he's doing a mitzvah of saving a life. The thing is, that's only when there's going to be something which is going to slow it down. And now, let's say, for example, your wife normally takes her 8 hours. And she says, Shmuel just had the first contraction. It's just night. Are you in a rush? No. In a couple hours. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but, it's not 10 seconds is not making a difference here, right? So if I normally push the buttons like this, boom, 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 that's diraisa. I'm not allowed to break the malacha diraisa when I could do it to Rabbanan if I'm not endangering a person's life. And therefore, I take my eyeglasses or a fork and I go. Because that's done in a non-normal way, making the act only to Rabbanan. I saved the life just as well. But this person had their arm cut off and they're bleeding to death over here. You know, say, excuse me, I want to see if I can do this to a button. Just hold on and bleed a little slower. You know, same thing with the cab going to the hospital. Should you drive along? Are we in an immediate emergency, or do I have to get to the hospital at some point soon on Shabbos? And the matter of a few minutes doesn't really make a difference. So in that case, call the ambulance, push it with something else, or call an Arab cab driver, okay, using some other, item, and get there. It's not going to, that's get you out of the category of Krok Nefesh, because the issue of it taking another few seconds is not changing the health of the person. It's not Krok Nefesh. Getting to the hospital is Krok Nefesh. But I don't have to be the one driving or doing something because a few seconds doesn't make a difference. When a few seconds does make a difference, you're the one to do it. Preferably go to choose the voyage. Actually, let's say that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna actually go. Okay, we are at the bottom of page 80, last two lines in the notes, and we are on page 39 at the top in the book. Okay, Josh, send the notes to Shmuel and to the notes in class to Shmuel, so you give it to Yal and
please do.
Shira.
Okay.
And also to Shira.
I will do.
Okay, now 1 second. Okay, yeah, Yeshua and Shira, we're also going to be learning again on Sunday. Can you send Shira the notes, the things from Sunday also that she missed?
Yeah, I can do that. Not a problem.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, she's in a problem right now. Mom's sick. We're not going to stop class for everybody else, but we don't want her to fall behind. She's a serious lady, but she's going through troubles.
Yeah.
So try to help her out.
Okay.
Take guys.
Okay, see you next week. I'll see you Sunday. See you next week, Shmuel. Bye-bye.